So I sold the 240, and I wanted to do just like a final wrap-up video on it, and do the top 10 things that I liked about it, since I never got a chance to do it. So here we go. So first I'll get a little bit into why I sold it. First was just money. After selling the Jeep, I just decided that I'm going to get out of any debt that I'm in, and I was able to sell this car, pay for my daughter's school for the year, pay off a bunch of bills, and secondly, just regarding the car, I just I don't know, there's something in me that just says this car is never going to be 100% right, that there will always be issues with it, and I don't want that. I'm just tired of it. This July marked 4 years that I've owned it, and it's just time to tap out, let go, and move on. So my goal is to save up and get a probably a 2019 Jeep Wrangler. I know they're redesigning it, so we'll see how that looks, and just kind of be done with project cars and that type of thing. I mean, I have my Mustang, and I'll take that to the track and drag race it and have fun, and you know what, reliability, I don't think I have to worry about anything breaking on that. With this, I'm always worried that even if the engine gets running right, it's going to have issues, whether it's breaking axles or the tune becoming funky or whatever. Like I said, I'm done. I had enough of it. And I still think it's cool as hell. I still think it's a really neat car. My one regret is never getting to take it to a car show. I really wanted to take it to, there's a couple good ones around here. There's one at Whiskey Cafe, and there's one at Bear Mountain, and they're both really good shows. And I so badly wanted to take this down there, pop the hood, and just show it off. And I obviously never got the chance to do that. So that is my regret there. That said, I feel just an incredible release of anxiety and worry and that type of thing. So I'm glad to be done with it. My Jeep, however, I still wholeheartedly miss. It's just an awesome vehicle. But we'll see if I can get to the top 10 here. Alright, so this was written at the same time that I did the top 10 things that I hate about it, and that's been out like several months now. So I have had this the entire time. Really, I was waiting for the car to be like 100% done, 100% drivable, 100% no issues, that type of thing. And like I said, that's not going to happen while I own it. But regardless, these were the top 10 things that I love about it. Number 10 was that everything on the car worked. The horn, the hazards, the tach, the speedometer, the directionals. I mean, everything a normal car has working, this has working. Everything works, which I thought was awesome. You see a lot of these around. The AC works on it. The only thing it doesn't is like the cruise control, because hell, I don't use cruise control. Number 9 was the visibility. This thing, just the shape of it and the amount of glass and the size of it, like there was no blind spots on it. You could drive it confidently anywhere without having to worry about somebody being in a quote-unquote blind spot, because there wasn't any. That's something I thought was really awesome about this car. Even my sister had this car in the early 90s, and it was the same thing I thought then, and hers was standard. There was no LS motor in it. That always really got to me, was that it was really, really easy to drive. The number 8 thing was the fact that it has a squared stance. I put 275s all around on it, and I think it looks fantastic. It makes it handle really awesome. And if you need to swap out tires, rotate and that type of thing, you could do that. I thought it was a really good addition to the car. Number 7 was the weight. It's still extremely lightweight weight. Even with the 5.7 liter in it, still weighs under 3,000 pounds. Now, I never officially got to weigh this car. That was one of the things, again, once it was running right and everything, I had every intention of taking it to a scale and having it weighed. It just never happened. But that's, that is what it is. Number 6 is that there's no computer assist. So there's no traction control, there's no ABS, there's no, when I got my license, my first car was a 68 Camaro. Then that car actually had gotten hit, and I got a second 68 Camaro. But again, there was no driver assist. There's no, I need, the computer to help me out. You could drive or you can't drive. That was it. Number 5 is the fact that in New Jersey, any car under 1995 no longer has to be inspected. And this car being a 1990 qualifies. I no longer have to take it through inspection, and that was awesome. So I can put this motor in it, I can do away with the catalytic converter. The basic liability is just making sure that the car, brakes are up to the spec, that the lights work, all that kind of thing, and then you do not have to go to state inspection anymore. So that was awesome. Number 4, which again isn't going to apply to me, is that there were still other things I wanted to do to it. I had wanted to put a doubled-in system in it. I wanted to do a leather interior. I wanted to get the car painted, fix some of the body work on it, just kind of upgrade the car from what it is now. But that again is not gonna happen for me. The number 3 thing that I loved about it was just the power. At almost 400 horsepower to the rear wheels, the car had more power than it ever needs. Probably 300 horsepower in this car is fine, but just having that power on tap, and you could 1/8 throttle it, 1/4 throttle it, 1/2 throttle it, and that's again more than you need. Number 2, and again, having sold it, this is kind of an ironic one, is just having owned a car with a swapped LS motor. I thought it was pretty cool. You hear a lot of people talk about 240s with LS1s in it. I've never seen another one in person. I live in the New York metropolitan area. I go to a ton of car shows. I've never seen another one. So having owned one is pretty cool. The number 1 thing is the drivability. This car with that much horsepower, if you didn't get on it and you were reasonable about how you drove it, the car is extremely drivable. Like, I never, other than it having mechanical issues, I never had an issue to feel unsafe driving it with the upgraded cam, with the LS motor in it, all that kind of stuff. I never felt like the car was too powerful for what it was. As long as you drove it normal, the car was perfectly fine. It was like a pleasure to drive. But that was my top 10 things that I loved about my LS1 powered 240 SX. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. If you enjoyed the video, please take the time to like and subscribe.